I joined the company when Swan Lake moved to the West End, the Piccadilly Theatre. I joined the company straight after college. I met Matthew Bourne at college. He choreographed a piece at London Studio Centre. I had trained as a classical dancer, and when I experienced his work, it was quite a revelation because he introduced acting through movement, which was really exciting. And then since then, I stayed with the company. I've been involved with all the new productions, mainly created many roles and toured the world. And I've travelled to places that I didn't think I was going to travel to, and interpreted roles that were very different to me as a person. So in The Red Shoes I play the character Irina Boronskaja. She's the prima ballerina of the Lermontov dance company. She's very passionate about dance. She joined the company when she was very young. She's dedicated all her life to dance, and she's very close to Lermontov. Her life is dance, and she's very dramatic. She had Russian training, so she pours her heart and soul into dance. And she's also quite vulnerable because she's so passionate about her art that she depends on it. So she's very vulnerable inside, quite fragile, and sometimes she can be quite childish. I really enjoyed developing this character. It meant I had to do a lot of research on dances from the past. So I watched loads of videos and documentaries about dancers of the 40s. I focused in particular on Tamara Tumanova and Alicia Markova and Margot Fontaine and many others, and Ninette de Valois. So it's been a great chance to learn more about these dancers from the past. One of the great things I discovered is how hard it was for these dancers to sustain a career as a ballet dancer. Their working conditions were much harder. Dancers didn't have a status in society like they do nowadays. So committing to a career as a dancer was a very big step. Jobs were very limited, and also careers would end a lot earlier. The option of being married and having children was unheard of, and carrying on as a dancer was unheard of. So it was a very big commitment, but you also discovered that they were all very determined and very passionate about their art. I was very inspired by Alicia Markova, how she made it her mission to bring dance to theatres outside London and bring dance to audiences that had never seen dance before. So she set up the London Festival Ballet Company. And in a way, it's also what our company does. We brought dance to many audiences around the world, and we reached people that had never seen dance before. So there's a parallel there, for sure. This particular way we approach a show and characters, we tend to really research the era, the physical behaviour of people of the era, and then we focus on particular characters. So we end up watching a lot of films, reading a lot of books and articles, just embrace overall, have an overall knowledge of what life was in those days. We often write down a background story for each character, something that the audience might not see when they watch the piece, but we know, and it gives us a motivation or a reason for reacting in a certain way. So we become quite specific about things, and sometimes that's really useful when you're in the middle of a scene and you're trying to understand why your character feels in a certain way, and there's a whole background story to support that. And physically, we had to embrace more ballet steps, so we obviously supported our training with more ballet. I had to revisit point work, which has been great. So when I left college, I moved into contemporary dance, and I didn't have the chance to do much more point work. So it's been really nice to go back into point work and also study the quality of movement of those days, which was very different to the way we move nowadays. I'd love audiences to walk away reflecting on how an artist invests in their art, and how your life revolves around what you love as an artist. So for a dancer, your life revolves around dance, and how difficult it is to find that balance between your commitment and your love for dance and the outside world. And it's difficult to see from the outside, but dancers work really hard through their training and invest everything they have into what they do, and often feel lost when they leave that world. So I think it's something really important to think about.